I love the latest comment in the live feed. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Great comment. I wish I would have had that queued up, man. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us live. It is Wednesday night, the Wednesday night before Christmas. Really, really cool to be hanging out with all you guys. I got the crew with me. I got Trey. I got Big Leg. I got Vinny. Marcus is going to try and come in later. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And we're going to just roll through it tonight. So shout out everybody hanging out tonight and having a couple drinks, smoking a couple smokes, and enjoying the night. So hopefully you guys are all off from work and it's your week off to kind of hang out and chill and enjoy yourself and get some shit done if that's your thing. So shout out to, I see Mrs. Horsecock is in the chat, 78 points. Lazarus McFly, Chad Cave, Dan Piercy's in the house, and we appreciate all you guys for
those are two winners too, by the way. Horsecock and Lazarus McFly both are both big winners in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, we need to talk about that because for those of you guys that don't know, we had a couple giveaways on the OTR Discord. Look at this beautiful Christmas Batman cover right here, Batman number 33 from our boy Vika, and given away and won by the one and only Mrs. Horsecock. So pretty damn cool. So.
And hey, to be honest with you, everyone funny name, and he's got some funny comments. And I told these guys, he sent us a private message, one of the nicest messages I've gotten since I've come back. So, like I said, don't let a name scare you guys away. He's a solid dude. So.
Yeah, he's been a community member for a while, and we appreciate you guys.
Sean and I will never judge anyone by their fucking screen name because we basically became friends in a group hangout called Hope Solo's Lone Asshole Hair Club. Wow! And I will never tell you how that came about or anything else. You had to be there to know it. But I will never disrespect anyone because of a screen name. Just based on that, can't be hypocritical.
I think it's worse, Trey, if you don't tell the story.
Okay, fuck it. You know me, I'm gonna tell the story. Do you guys remember the fappening?
Yes.
You remember when the digital came down? There were like all these celebrities and like hot chicks, and at the very fucking bottom there was like 4 photos, and it was Hope Solo, and it was literally of her asshole. And there's just one, like, super long, squiggly hair. And you just couldn't take your eye off the son of a bitch for whatever fucking reason. And that's just kind of how things kind of happened. And Wade might have started it. I don't remember who started it, to be exact. But
somebody dropped the
CBSI would have never came if it wasn't for the Hope Solos, their lone asshole
hair club.
Wow.
There was 4 iterations of this chat, by the way. People had to get kicked out. There was some shit.
There's still iterations actually. That's the crazy. Now with the different name, that's for sure. But the HSAC. There was the 1.0, the 2.0. You had to make cuts, man. Some people didn't get it.
You remember when Keith was literally in it for 4 years and never responded, and his fucking in his iPad just ruined everything?
Because all his iPad just lurked the entire time, but he
had like
literally
his
didn't
iPad
respond.
on auto read, and we just thought he was an asshole. We'd be like, "Hey Keith, Merry Christmas, how you doing?" And it'd be like read by Keith.
Dude, his iPad just read everything, and it just didn't work. No, you remember how it stopped? He moved. Like he got new Wi-Fi. Yeah, he moved. He got like new Wi-Fi, and it didn't read all of his freaking iPad messages for some reason in the Hangouts.
He got a lesser Wi-Fi too, so.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that shit works.
Yeah, but it sure is.
Life gets better, and then it blossoms. Like Bryan's magnificent Jesus hair.
Oh man, it's been rough.
Or Maya Bialik.
For being at the old fucking AM/PM clinic, you got a little nice condition in it. It's got a little shine in there.
Bro, I got a funny story to tell. So, my brother's living with me right now, and my brother gets sick, and I'm okay. The next day, boom, I hit it. And my brother is like, I'm going to the urgent care. I'm like, okay. He comes back like 2 hours later. He's like, fuck that place, man. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, man, they told me my insurance isn't working. I had to call my HR and all this stuff. And then they told me, I had to wear a mask and all this stuff. And he goes, when I walked out of there, man, I told every fucking lady behind there what a bitch they were and threw my mask at them. And I was like, okay, I get it.
Wow. All right.
God,
Merry Christmas.
I've always liked your brother.
Merry Christmas.
So the next like 3 hours later, he comes back home and I'm feeling terrible at this point. And he goes, I'm going to another urgent care. I'm like, okay. I'm just going to go with you. He goes, dude, you have to sign in online. I go, I'm just going to go with you. And I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to go through the same thing. We go to this other urgent care. Both of me and him are in and out within 30 minutes. We got our prescriptions, his HR, his insurance worked, everything. I'm like, we need to stop back by that urgent care on the way home and let them know how fucking ridiculous this is. And the funny thing my brother said is that, like, it's getting to that point where everybody's starting to become Michael Douglas. Everybody's going to have to become Michael Douglas at this point. So
we're going down. We're all going to be falling down, huh?
Yeah.
Literally, outside of the shooting people, that's how I've literally lived my whole adult life. Is
10:31 a.m. No breakfast at McDonald's. What the fuck?
Fuck you. I know that there's a fucking hash brown back there. Someone's just being lazy.
Dude, every single person has been to McDonald's at 10:31 and got screwed in their life. There's nobody alive.
Or the fucking lady with the fucking poodle smoking the cigarette at the window, taking 5 minutes to fucking order just one thing. It's like 10:27 and you pull in and you're like, I'm getting some pancakes. And then you're like, at 10:28, you're like, all right, this bitch needs to hurry. 10:29, you're like, go, bitch! Go! And then at 10:30, she's like, I don't know. What should we get, Herbert? And then 10:31 hits and you see the fucking people just, the sign starts changing.
The sign automatically changes.
Fucking people are running to their cars. And you're just like, no! And then you just see this fucking Dodge minivan just fucking slowly go to the fucking window. And you're like, can you like some lunch? You're like, this, bitch. Starts, oh, man.
Yo, that's me and my family every time we order drive-thru. I'm that lady.
If you don't have a basic game plan before you go to the drive-thru, fucking look the window up on the deal. If you're not ready for combat when you get to the fucking order line, you got 3 minutes before I start honking. Outside, unless they tell you to wait.
Dude, and if you take 60 fucking seconds, right? Just say a number. All right, number 8. Number 8 with Mountain Dew. All right, thanks. I'll see you up there. No lettuce on the tacos. All right.
Yeah, I get extra lettuce on my tacos, bro.
Yeah, but I eat mine late. Sometimes I'll put them in the fridge, and you can't heat them up.
Yeah, great point.
What outside of Chick-fil-A? What is the best? There's not a good drive-through experience, in my opinion.
Wendy's is fast.
After they discontinued the spicy nugget and then tried to come back, I ain't been back. I feel like that was a slap in the face.
About this. It's funny you're talking about this, Trey, because literally on the way home from that urgent care center, me and my brother are like, dude, I haven't eaten McDonald's in a long time, and I'm sick, and it sounds good as hell. So we went to McDonald's. We got 2 Big Macs and shared a large fry, and it was like $17. Yeah. I was like, what is going on here? And it was horrible, bro. It was the worst shit ever. And I'm like, I don't get it. How do people pay $17 for this terrible McDonald's when they can go to Wendy's or Chick-fil-A and get amazing food for probably cheaper? Like, I can go to
100% it's cheaper. 100% it's cheaper.
Yeah. I fuck with Burger King. You want to know why?
I don't trust
fast food. No, because here's the thing. They at least though that there's some fire that kills some shit that at least gonna touch the fire. I have a theory behind this. There's some flames at some point in time that's hot enough to kill some shit. I've never had a hamburger at Burger King taste horrible. I've had some shitty fries. I've had some shitty chicken sandwiches, but a straight Whopper, they don't fucking miss it.
I've had cold Whoppers. I like Burger King chicken sandwich. I barely eat fast food at all in life anymore, though. I can't lie.
They've ruined fast food. You can't go to Pizza Hut and sit at the fucking buffet anywhere anymore. Do you know how literally from my childhood up until the pandemic, I would go to Pizza Hut and sit at the buffet at lunch twice a week. One of my favorite things to do is $7. Pizza was good, breadstick was good, in and out. You know what I mean? And they shut that shit down after the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to have
Look at the fucking Chinese.
days.
This is not. They fucked us out of Top Gun for a year. The fucking Pizza Hut buffet. The amount of shit that the fucking Chinese from fucking COVID have caused us already is fucking ridiculous.
Dude, the fucking I used to have all the fast food menus memorized because they didn't have like too many seasonal items in college days. I'll just be like, in living in LA, you can kind of go to any of them, and unfortunately don't live there anymore. But so you just go whatever, man. I pretty much know exactly what I'd want, what the prices are gonna be, everything like that. And yeah, McDonald's used to be better, but last time I went, I hadn't been in so long. I didn't do Big Mac. I never liked a Big Mac because I didn't like the extra bun. So I went double quarter pounder with fries and a soda, whatever. And they're trying to advertise like every soda is 99 cents, and it was like $16 or $17. And I'm like, okay, but the crazy thing, the double quarter pounder was actually good. I swear, there's like sugar in the bun. Like there's like sweetener and all this stuff. It doesn't taste the same as it used to. Like it's similar. You can get it for sure. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's not like you blind taste test, but I was like, this is actually good because there's sugar in it. And I was like, this is how people get addicted to this shit.
Yeah.
Literally have shit. It's like they have like nicotine in their products for you to get addicted to. I think is actually how that goes. But yeah, I do the habit. I'll do Chick-fil-A. I don't know if everybody has a habit. That's good. I can't lie, dude. I'm whatever. I'll still eat some Panda Express with all chow mein and a couple of whatever items, and and whichever one looks freshest. Then there's the fresh for you check. They'll do that. They'll ask you for. You can ask for a fresh at Panda Express, and they have to do it.
Yeah.
And I saw a guy do it with like a brand new tray of food. And she's like, it's fresh. It was full. Like, nobody'd eaten out of it. He's like, no, I want it fresh. They had to make a whole, I don't remember what item it was. They had to make a whole new bowl of that shit.
I was losing on that guy, dude.
Oh, dude. Dude, we're the only, there wasn't anybody else there. It's a food court next to our the closest movie theater, right? And I'm like, what a fucking dickhead, man. Absolute jerk. Yeah.
Peter Piper, my favorite all-time pizza, baby. Tastes like cardboard.
Peter Piper's is. I remember that shit. But right now, for $6, nobody's out slinging dick like Little Caesars, and they haven't for the last 8-9 years. Literally, for $6, they got a decent pizza. The thing about it is they have all this designer shit pizza in Oklahoma now, where people are fucking bringing in machines to mimic the New York City water. It's $31 for a large pepperoni. And I go to Little Caesars and get one for $6, and I promise it ain't $25 difference. It ain't. Like, if you do a blind taste test, you give me 3 cocktails and a hit, I'm fucking picking the Little Caesars every fucking time. Every time.
We have that here. We have 2 pizza places. One's
one's
gourmet. Ours aren't really changed. They're only a few each in our area. So we got the one that has like the gourmet shit, and it's better, but it's so expensive, $30 some for a large. Then you got the other one, like if you're having a football party, you got those like $10 larges. It's not as cheap as Little Caesars, but that's you get. We don't have a Little Caesars. Oh, I do remember Peter Piper. We had one in Stockton, dude.
Pepperoni, salami, green peppers, black olive, beef, onions, juicy California tomatoes with 100% mozzarella cheese. I'm going to serve it to you quick and hot, but I'm not going to charge a lot of money like the other guys. But you ask, is it any good? Well, I don't want to brag. Try my pizza. Check our prices, and you be the judge. You'll be glad you heard me say, come on over to Peter Piper Pizza.
Hell yeah. Good shit.
They were the original thin crust.
They said Valley. Was that your Valley or our Valley? Brian, do you know?
Well, it's all over Phoenix, so.
We had him here. They had the tomatoes from California.
Oh, bro, 222-2222 was their phone number back in the day.
Now people would check to see like his actual ethnicity and see if he's appropriating anything, or if he's just trying to sell some Peter Piper pizza, man. People can't just act anymore.
Dude, I've never.
Man, remember the short circuit? That Indian dude was just like a white dude.
Yeah, done your pipe into life.
By the way, I've never agreed with Chad Cave more in my life. Like the last 4 comments he said have been absolutely perfect. This is like it's a holiday spirit, crazy. No, yeah, did y'all have Godfathers? Like the only time you can get Godfathers in Oklahoma now is at a Love's truck stop, and it's ass. But Godfathers, when I was in from 15 until 20, mid 20s, Godfathers was my favorite. I thought they had the best everything.
Hey, check to see if the super chat thing is back, you guys. I see that Ferdbird says we can't super chat, and it's supposed to be back. It's we're all supposed to be back.
I don't see it.
Nobody sees it. All right, that's a pain in the ass. I have to figure that out because everything is supposed to be on the up and up. So I'll check it out. But that being said, you guys, 2023 is going to be a big year. It's going to be. We're going to force it to be better than 2022, and you're gonna see a lot of changes. You're gonna see changes on the channel. You're gonna see changes on in the hobby. You're gonna see changes in some of your favorite places to go on the web. Like you're gonna see changes in your comic publishers. Like it is going to be very interesting. So that being said, let's take a look at some of the news this week for those changes. AfterShock breaks its silence on bankruptcy filing.
Ooh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah. So AfterShock called it quits, which is a bummer. And it's funny how everybody's crying about how they're not going to make money on We Live anymore. But it says here, hours after the parent company behind AfterShock filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, the publisher has broken its silence on the matter. In the new statement, AfterShock says the filing is an attempt to restructure the company so that it can obtain additional financing to, quote, continue the operate its business. So, it's not going to leave. It sounds like this is a thing to try and save it. And it sounds like they owe a ton of money to a ton of people. San Diego Comic-Con, the printer, creators. But I heard they were paying creators a ton. Wasn't that a thing about them, that they were supposedly paying creators a ton of money?
They might have been initially, but I think that what I'm hearing is just a lot of publishers right now they're just barely keeping their heads above water, and they're not paying creators on time at all. And the bankruptcy filing, it's, probably, I mean, it is more strategic than anything else, but I don't see how they can come out of this and not have some bad blood, right, from not paying, but we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully it does work out for them, but that's tough. That's tough.
It's funny. It says here, quote, has it become the industry standard to pay creators ridiculously late for their work? I've struggled all year with this. All the large companies I work for get paid on the agreed time. I'm talking months late, Will Robinson tweeted in a now viral thread. It's sad how nervous I am to even talk about this publicly in fear of being blacklisted for future work. Put a pin in that. That's a major thing. But I've heard so many horror stories from other freelance creators recently about fighting for their paycheck, and I need to vent all about this and hopefully raise some awareness to make a serious change. This is happening everywhere, you guys, not just with the big publishers, the small publishers. It's happening in Kickstarter realms. It's happening. I seen Ethan Van Sciver and his boys were talking about a big issue over there on all caps the other night, and creators they aren't getting paid, and they're even getting stiffed by other creators. And I think that, to me, one of the main reasons, obviously, is just that everybody's struggling right now, man. Everybody is...
All the fake fucking money's fucking... All the crypto bullshit people have been fictitiously paying for things for the last
loans.
20... All that for the last 24 months, it all just went poof.
Yeah.
All this art and all this shit, all these NFTs and all these... Not necessarily NFTs, but a lot of these art projects and everything else were funded by fucking crypto and crypto interest and all this fake shit that's not even tangible. And I think that this is a direct correlation of that. Vinny may know way more about it, but I just I'm seeing the same thing in all my feeds. People complaining, employees not getting paychecks, companies not getting paid. not able to get paper, the raw goods scenario. I mean, there's excuses for fucking days out there from everybody.
I mean, people had a lot of extra money with crypto, back when Bitcoin was at 60,000 and Ethereum was at 4,500 or 4,000 or whatever it was. Like, people had bought in at super low numbers, even Ethereum, like $100, $200, and seeing it go to 4,000, it was like funny money. People were buying anything at that point. So, once that came crashing down, I think people were still relying on it, but it's going to go up and down. So, people were just not prepared.
Yeah.
I just think independent comic book companies like that, like, I don't think the Substack thing is going to last long term. I could be way off on that. I don't follow any Substacks. I haven't played the Substack game. I pay attention to the model. Unless you have the top talent and characters, like with today with Marvel the way it is, just looming over, and then you even got DC at the very far sidelines in the shadow. I just don't know. I mean, it's going to take something like Todd McFarlane, but I don't know if there's a McFarlane-esque character or there's a comic artist big enough in stature to break off and to cause fans to go with him. Like Michael Turner, you know what I mean? With the different things, like, who's the best artist in the game right now? Not cover artist, because there's a difference between cover and interiors now. They used to be they used to do the same thing. But, like, is there an artist that anybody in the comments that would follow if they made their own imprint? And
not them, but I would follow them. But I don't think they're drawing right now. So
there's our girls. Let's see some of that Christmas pussy. Come on, girls. Come on. I'm telling you, this free advertisement's getting ridiculous for like 9 weeks, and they won't even show us anything.
Capullo's up there. Shout out to Bryan Wood, yeah.
Capullo's a god, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Capullo,
he could.
I
don't think he wants to.
I like Greg Capullo, and I thought that his Batman run was really, really good. I thought that Death Metal towards the end was really piss poor. I like Capullo, I really do, but I thought that. And he stated that on Twitter at one point in time. He was bored with the whole Batman and the whole DC stuff. He was tired of drawing it, said he wanted to be done with it. And I know that there's a rumor that him and Cates have a huge Marvel project that they're about to announce. They may have already announced it. I haven't been paying much attention the last week.
Cave talks about money, just not crypto money, that's taking a huge hit this year. And that's for sure. I don't know if you guys saw this lately, but it was a pretty interesting little play on what was going on in the sports card world with all these companies taking these PPP loans back in the day, and all of it getting forgiven. So PWC Marketplace, they took a $413,000 loan, forgiven. How about Golden Auctions, $174,000, forgiven. 352, which is that Jeff guy.
I don't like this. I do not like this motherfucker Wilson, at all.
Over $2 million in PPP loans, forgiven. Leaf trading cards, 224, forgiven.
Shout out to Leaf. We got to help Leaf out. They got the 90 Frank Thomas. That's an iconic part of my childhood. We got to help Leaf out. But that guy right there, Doc Joe likes that guy. That guy's the slimiest.
Yes.
He's one of those guys who dresses like that and collects cards. If you collect baseball cards, you got a crooked tooth. You're fucked. You got missing hair. Like one of your ears is bigger than the other. We don't look like this fucking guy. That's the truth. And you don't spell his name like Jeff. Fuck that. I don't trust people.
So even Whatnot was on this list. Whatnot
Vinny
was on
probably
this
knows
list.
him.
I don't know him. I was wondering. I don't know who this guy is actually.
They were taking. They didn't take a ton of money from what I said. From what I saw, maybe like 60,000 got forgiven or something like that. But the reason why I bring that up, you guys, is there's some interesting stuff going on right now with heavy metal, which, if you guys know, was bought by Whatnot Publishing, and this kind of ties into the last two things we were talking about. They're not paying people, right? Here's another publisher not paying the bills. Are they not paying the bills because they don't have it? Are they not paying the bills because they, what's going on here? It's very interesting. It says recently the publisher Heavy Metal outsourced the publication rights to Heavy Metal magazine to Whatnot Publishing, including for the first time in the magazine's history relaunching with a volume 2 and a new number 1. But what else is going on at the publisher that might have led to the move? Their newly appointed CRO and CS is in charge of cash flow, and Bleeding Cool understands that those asking to be paid have been told by him that the company is currently unable to make payments and can't give a date as to when they might be able to. Ouch.
That's not good.
If this is a company that has so much money, I mean, they are bragging about the valuation, how much money they have. They're sending. I mean, the amount of money that they are probably hemorrhaging just in the sports card part of their app, yet alone the comic book part of their app. I couldn't imagine with all the they gave like at least 5 that I know of YouTube influencers $50,000 to go spend at card shows and then just sell the product on their thing. We know the comic group is giving multi thousands of dollars to influencers for free books, monthly contracts, free books. They're sending them. Half of the influencers that you guys watch on Whatnot are getting those books they're selling. They're not paying for those. Those are all free from Whatnot. So it's a big deal when they're hemorrhaging all that money to me and they can't pay their creators. Here's a question.
They're probably. It's probably not Whatnot. What's that?
I wonder. Did the creators of Ninja Funk get paid? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, because we got a resident lawyer here.
No, I was just going to say they probably have a budget that was set for Heavy Metal, and I wouldn't say it's Whatnot not paying the bills, right? There's probably some sort of budget that was in there that's not being allocated from Whatnot. I can't see with Whatnot having that kind of capital. I just can't see them not coming in to bail it out. I think it's more of a Heavy Metal thing than it is a Whatnot thing. But
it says we have Bleeding Cool says we have reached out to Heavy Metal and heard from Matt Medini, CEO of Heavy Metal, who told us via Whatnot that, quote, due to a sum of receivables not being collected on time, our payments to creators have slipped further than what's acceptable. Luckily, we have a dedicated and committed investor group whose support is allowing us to pay all of our creators before Christmas while we catch up on our invoicing.
So that might even be Whatnot jumping in to fund that,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and I just saw this today right before the show, so I'm gonna try and put out some feelers and stuff. They've in the past, not lately, but in the past at the beginning of the year, they were pretty good about getting back to people asking questions. They definitely haven't been lately, and I know that's a big issue, not just for me, but also for some big dogs on the channel, including. One of the day ones over there on Whatnot, and a guy that I don't know. I've never met him. I only know him through social media and seeing what he's about and hearing other people. But he seems like a very chill, kind of down to earth dude, and that is Nick GQ.
All right, Whatnot. We're gonna talk publicly right now. Why are my shows getting cock-blocked tonight? My Steranko show, signed by Steranko, now deleted 3 times while I went live. My auctions don't start for the past 3 nights in a row. My app is fully updated. I don't want to hear shit. Are you guys scared I'm telling the secrets? Are you guys pissed off that I don't run variant trash and I run real comic book history? Because now I'm getting hot. Is it because that I'm alive and I didn't drop dead? Is that what it is? Because I'm alive.
By the way, for those of you guys that don't know, Nick just received word that he beat cancer. He's starting.
Someone needs to put Nick in touch with fucking Josh immediately.
Amen.
Now, I'm going to be alive for a while now that I'm in remission. So you didn't even call me on Monday that you said you were gonna. Don't mess with my shows. Don't mess with my shows. I'm not one of your bullshit influencers.
Which is very interesting where he left that. And he put out another one. This is to continue.
See, I'm gonna go into dickhead mode right now. I'm gonna go into dickhead mode right now because I'm hot. I'm hot. And if this goes viral, I don't give a shit. I'm your day one. Now, I don't care about all your self-made cornball clown influencers. I'm your day one. I don't care about the garbage ass self-made variants. I don't care about any of that. I go into everybody's rooms and I buy them the fuck.
Where's Marcus?
Because
You put that to his ear.
This is no game anymore. This is no game. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. So you want to play chess? Let's play chess. I made my move. What's your move? So I'm getting tired right now of being told, oh, we love you. We care about you. You don't care about shit. Where were the phone calls when I was dying in the fucking hospital? Who called me? 3 people?
That don't look
3
good.
people? I'll tell you who called me. Epic Nation called me. And he ended up lying to me. But I still go to his show and buy him and buy stuff from him because I can. Tom called me. And I like Tom Garcia, aka Comic Tom. I got no beef with him. Who the fuck else called me? Key King Comics. Key King Comics actually called me every day. That's my boy. And you guys still cock blocked him because a bunch of fake people go on and say some bullshit. Where's all the returns? Where's all the returns, guys? Yeah, they're at your warehouse, right? They're all at that warehouse, right? All these sellers don't even have a clue what people ask to be returned and refunded.
What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean, you guys?
What do you say again?
Play it again.
Go on and say some bullshit. Where's all the returns? Where's all the returns, guys? Yeah, they're at your warehouse, right? They're all at that warehouse, right? All these sellers don't even have a clue what people ask to be returned and refunded.
Now, again, allegations, I get it. But man, if what he's trying to put through, and this is what I'm taking from it, is that we as sellers don't know when buyers, or we as buyers, send stuff back for return. They don't let us know, right? And all those returns are sitting in a warehouse somewhere, right? What's happening to those returns? That's what I feel like he's saying. Now, I don't know if that's true. Again, these are allegations. There's nothing we can do. I mean, that's what we show. We're a commentary show. You know, that's what we do. We comment on what's going on and what we see in social media. I don't know what to take from this, man. That's a big allegation right there.
No one gets notifications.
So, all right, maybe Hi Nathan's been on there forever too. Maybe he knows. I don't know. So I'm gonna put it this way. When I've had people, so basically we had to use Instagram for messaging when this thing started, right? Then they got with the messaging app, and it could be a pain in the ass. I'll be honest. I had maybe 1 or 2 people that told me shit via Instagram, and to be honest, I made generally my mistakes, or maybe somebody didn't really look at the grade and weren't happy, even though I'm definitely better at that than people. And so I made amends through Instagram, or I give them their money back because it was never too much money, you know. Or if I could flip a book out, sometimes I'm able to do that. But I will say that I had people say, "Oh no, sorry, hey man, you know I wanted near mint, and it's got a little micro tick right here." And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. That book's near mint, and I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't even know how to do a return for you because I don't know you. And they go like, okay. So I've had probably at least 3 people say, "Never mind, I'll get it done through whatnot," and just never message me back. And so so that's why I'm saying I don't know. I don't know where the hell they are. I don't know.
Doesn't sound shady. I'll say it right now.
They never took money. They never took money back. They never took money like from my bank account or anything. So.
And I've had the same situation. So again, we don't know. We're just feeling this out right now. We're showing everybody. And I'm gonna reach out, but this is just very interesting because I agree. Now Sean's saying that, I've had a couple issues where things have been sent to the wrong people or something, and
yeah,
and it's hard to get a hold of people through Whatnot sometimes, and it's just easier for them to go through the Whatnot service. But that being said, there's more.
You guys know about the giveaway advances? You guys know about the giveaway money? You guys know about all of the waived fees? Is that fair? Is that fair? Is that equal? No, right? No. See, God kept me alive for a reason. God kept me alive for a reason. See, I'm not psychotic. I'm diabolic. Remember that.
Oh, so, eBay's gonna wipe the fucking. eBay is going to polish that fucking turd. I mean, I would either hate that guy or like that guy. It's going to be a very thin line if he and I got to fucking. Let's just be honest with you. We might like each other, probably not. But I mean, like threatening. If you got the books, if you got good books, you don't need a platform to sell them. It's just the fucking truth. If you have hot shit, you can sell it anywhere. As long as you have your following, you're gonna sell it. You could go on. I mean, literally, I believe Mel and Josh both proved in the last week that the Instagram sales were more than successful. So going and picking a fight with, go look at the dipshits that we know who run Whatnot. If you guys have faith in that company just because they raised $1 billion, fuck your $1 billion. Go get, it's like the fucking giving the GM Jed Hoyer of the Cubs $1 billion. Hey, you might give him $1 billion. You think that dipshit's gonna build a winning team? Not a fucking chance.
Sign Dansby Swanson.
That's what I mean. And then we give fucking Bellinger $18 million. He's not a AA player anymore. But just because you have all this money and this other shit doesn't mean you're gonna build a successful team when you got fucking moron brains. When your parents gave you fucking dipshit genes, you can't fix that.
Yeah, it's very.
So I'll be live tomorrow afternoon on Whatnot for I'm doing a whole Spider-Verse sale of really good shit. I'll grade it well. You'll see it well.
Listen,
and you all know you can trust me. So
it's
please,
yeah,
Christmas money, baby.
I'll send you $50 for fucking detrimental Whatnot disparaging remarks, but.
Yeah, I've had issues with returns trying to get a hold of people, Chat Cave. Definitely trying to get a hold of people. I've had issues with returns, but never a major issue. I don't know what to think about it. I try to stay on the middle, like as much as I can. I tell you the things I have respect for, the things that I don't like. I'm honest with everybody, and you guys know it. I say it every time. I'm honest with people because I don't want to have to cover for my lies anymore. There's nothing worse than having to cover for a lie that's covering for a lie that's covering for a lie. And when you lie a lot, that's what ends up happening. And nothing in life is worth it at that point. You're just basically a heroin addict without the heroin. So I'm not going to do that. So anything you hear me say, and also the people that we have on this channel right here, I respect these people's opinions and what they say, and I respect them for being honest too. I want honesty. Amen, Brad. Honesty in comics, honesty in life, whatever it is. But sometimes it's tough, man. It is tough to believe what is right and what isn't out there because we're human. It's humans. It's human issues. And
you mean you don't want to the next Battle Beast variant? You have to suck two guys' dicks and then fucking do a scavenger hunt under 3 bridges to get a fucking copy of a white tiger with fucking golden hair or whatever it is.
Hey, I'm sorry.
It's the dumbest book.
Beast, dude. We're not talking shit about Battle Beast.
It's the dumbest
Skybound
book.
X25. He's a major fucking character in Invincible, which we're doing 2 of next year, dude. So yeah, that's a great book. They did a good. They did a good character of Invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible.
But again,
which we're dropping season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, it's just very interesting, and we're gonna see where it plays out. We're definitely gonna see where it plays out. And you know, you hear a lot of people bitching about not getting paid. You hear a lot about companies going bankrupt. And here's something that I've heard multiple people that I respect lately say. And the fact of the matter is that people, there are characters that are legacy characters. There are people that are legacy people, and you don't, you know, your reputation and how you hold yourself behind the scenes. And if you say you're going to do something, you do it, means a lot. And I don't think people realize that anymore. I don't know if it's a social media thing. I don't know if it's a keyboard warrior thing. I don't know if it's a mental health thing. But there's a lot of people out there that, man, I don't know, man. It's very interesting. So we're gonna keep an eye. Yeah, the bankruptcy is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, man.
Here's honestly, here's part of the deal. So we've got. I moved the mic a little. Can you guys hear? Hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
So what people want to call influencers, okay? Bryan and I are YouTube guys, okay? I don't think either one of us consider ourselves influencers, okay? The influencers are, I can name them if you want. The people they consider influencers they get the followings, they get new people in to a degree. They're people who've been in comics, most of them for not that long. They're cool people, like in today's world of like being cool. That's why they're influencers or whatever. Okay, us dudes who have been into comics since we were kids, and can name you off any issue of like an X-Men first appearance or whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? Any of us that can do that, they are not. They're not that. They don't know the comics like we do, and you also can't blame them for if they're going to get a paycheck to sell comic books, or if they're going to get into it. It's all they never through the trenches of CGC boards and CBSI G Plus wars and all the other shit that we've all anything that we've all been through, and they're mostly younger. They're mostly younger than us, so to deal with that stuff, it's different. It's a new community, and even these people who are who they're new, they don't even all know what they think that they're doing is wrong. They're like, hey, we got a new variant that there's only 25 of them or 100 of them. Buy them here. They get people hyped up and they buy it, and they get 300 people in their shows, and they get bidding wars, and that's just literally how that shit goes. The rest of us have actually been selling comics for a long freaking time. So we got stacks of shit that we've been pulling out of stacks from passion, love, and fun for so many years. Man. So we don't get what they we're not that. We don't get what they get. I can't come with some bullshit. I come to you. I never come like I'm just trying to blow some shit up and say it's bullshit. No, you log on to one of my shows, man. I don't. Yes, I've got some not my own books with like say big leg on them, but like I get my own books that from people that I've worked with, and people have helped me out. People at Sky Battle Beast being one of them. Hey, here you go. Here's some stuff to sell. To do that, you know what I mean? Yeah, Big Clips, of course, man. Thank you, man. Like that, those things have been nice. It was cool how the first sellers got their names on the back of the books, right? Of the Invincibles. That made us all feel really good, I want
to hop on what you're saying real quick, Sean, because right. I just want to interrupt real quick. That's all fine and dandy, but there is something happening. There's this fracture that's happening where I think a lot of people who are in that industry are starting to realize that the reputation that these people are bringing to the table might not be something that I want to fuck with. And I think that a lot of these people were so new at first that it was like you said, oh, this is great. It's a great tool. It's a great thing. But it's starting to get this reputation. And we talked about it a few months ago where it just like it, I don't ever want to be at the point where I don't want to use the tool because I feel like I'm going to get ostracized or something, right? I don't want to, I don't want that. I don't want anybody to ever do that. I think it's a great fucking tool. It is.
It is
great. But it's just I don't want it to get to that point. And it feels like it's getting to that point. You hear things behind the scenes. You hear these guys who are legacy guys, who are 40 years in comics guys, who are 30 years in comics guys, who are saying, slow down on that. Maybe I don't want to deal with that, So
yeah, I think to piggyback off what Sean was saying, though, I think some of these people, so-called influencers who are kind of new to the game, they look at this as just widgets, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what collectible it is. It's something that they're getting and they're selling it. It has nothing to do with the history of comics or anything. And they may not know that they're doing something wrong. They may not care. So,
do not read. If you do not read comic books, you are not going to give me comic book advice. And these comic book influencers or people are talking about, they can't fucking read the daily funny fucking paper, much less what's going on in the comics right now. So the fact that people listen to these fucking dumbasses, that's the problem. The market's crashing and the blind are following the fucking blind lemmings off the cliff and panic is setting in. And like I said, we're talking about the stupidest fucking app for 45 minutes now. Yeah. And that's the problem I have with comics. This is why I want to this moon shit. If I can go to the moon and I don't have to fucking deal with any comic shit and whatnot and fucking people crying about variants and first appearances and CGC, I'll be so fucking happy. That's why the other collectible markets are so fucking great right now. You don't have any of this fucking crying just daily.
Whatnot is giving away a trip to space. So.
That's what I mean. They should take their whole fucking staff there and then fucking leave the rocket there. Save everyone a bunch of that and the pressable defect fucks too. Someone brought those fucking copycat cocksuckers up.
They're good guys.
No, they're not. They're Mr. fucking Pibb. That's exactly what they are.
They're good guys, but
they're Mr. Pibb. They might be good, but they're Mr. fucking Pibb.
The other thing is that Stern, well, not the other thing. Maybe Stern just needs to create a new black hole and glitch the Matrix again, like they did a couple of years ago. I don't know if that's going to happen. All right, let's jump into. Let's change the subject. I bring the show down. I hate it. I apologize. Into some NFTs.
This is fun. That's what's great is I love Sean, and I don't disagree with what he says. Like the things that he says are all valid points. And the things that Vinny said are valid points. And I know that, like I said, everyone uses that platform. And I don't want anything but my friends to make money. I just think you all are so much better than that piece of shit. And I hate it. That's the thing. It sucks. That's from my vantage point. You guys are better than that app and have a better network. And you don't need them and everyone having to kiss the ring to the people that you have to kiss the ring to. It's ridiculous. That's what bothers me. And here's the thing is I got screenshots and I got all kinds of shit of other things about whatnot that I haven't fucking come to the forefront with. They are cheating fucks. That's all there is to it.
Live sales are the future though. Like it just is for everything.
I will never buy anything.
For produce. They're selling produce in China on live sales, man.
Like a live auctions or like live sales? I mean, are you talking heritage auction? Because I do think that there is a difference between some guy with a $3 camera tripod and his iPhone selling his fucking mom's basement as opposed to a heritage auction. There is a gigantic difference.
No, not Marvel Spotlight 5, okay? But this stuff that I sell, man. You know, I have big books. I let them lay and pray on eBay, and then I sell 5 to. There's slabs for more, but books from $5 to $200 raw. You know, and occasionally all this cheap stuff these days, like at times. But
would you be willing to try eBay Live, Trey?
No. Here's the thing. I've been around collectibles long enough to know that if people are selling raw comic books, it's because there's flaws with them and they won't grade out at 9.8. You can say whatever the fuck you want to. Everyone can roll their eyes. But I know a majority of the sharks that sell comic books, I've swam in that pool. I know who the big fish are. I know who the little fish are. I know, and not big leg, He will show photos, and there's other people, but a majority of fucking people are selling raw books, are hiding flaws with, oh, this is near mint, and then people get it's very fine minus or very fine plus. There's not a really good return process, so they end up keeping it. I've heard those stories by the fucking hundreds. So, but here's the thing. If you're selling a graded comic book, who gives a shit? Because it's already graded. The hard part's done. You can't really, the bullshit's cut out of it.
I'll be honest. That's why I'm really looking into short box. I mean, right now, I think that, over the years, short box has kind of been there in the background, kind of just waiting, right? And for exactly what you say, it makes it such a bigger selling point. It's kind of like I know we talked before. Whatnot, eBay was the ire of our, you know what I mean, of what we talk about, but eBay has that guarantee, right? Well, I if you have that guarantee in place, that makes that really helps. And the grading factor, hey, everything's already graded. That's nice. That's a guarantee right there. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I think that it's very interesting. There's a lot of us that utilize Whatnot as a tool. There's a lot of us that use it as with all the other tools that we use, and it's going to be interesting to see, in the future where that plays out. Because I agree with Sean. We're moving into that. What do they call that? What was that book that Spielberg made that movie of?
Here's the other thing, and I'm going to say this. It's a lot like the cryptocurrency we talked about. Whatnot and these live platforms got popular when everyone was sitting on their fucking couches, not working, doing anything. The world started back up. No one has time. And I'm not being disrespectful. I don't have time to sit and watch somebody slow fucking roll 30 books for 4 hours. I just don't. There's better shit on TV than what you're selling on fucking Whatnot or whatever you're selling right now. If it's a hot book, you're going to put it on a big platform because you're going to get better fucking numbers on an eBay or to begin with. So tell me why I should waste my time buying mediocre raw books?
Because it depends on the seller though, right? But I agree with you. There's people I know, and I know that they're selling some good stuff, but otherwise, when I'm just randomly scrolling through it, I'm basically just foraging through junk, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like after 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, that's it.
And it just depends, man. And think about the thing for sellers who do sell good books. Like I've got quantity. I literally have look around my office, right? That's all you can see. You can't see in the closet. You can't see what's here, but you see literally to my left. Look at the pile. Look at the pile down here. Look at the pile up here. Look at the pile down there, right? Okay, so if I've got $5 to $10 stuff in there, and I can run 40 or 50 books, and people add on $5 and $10 books into their pile because they're like, hey, that's a nice book. I like that cover, man. I got $10 to give Sean. I got $5 or whatever, or even a little bitty more. Somebody gives you $20 or something like that. When they're buying other stuff that they want, I get those books out the door in one package to the same person that paid their shipping, and I print out their address, and there go the books. Right? It's a good way to move books.
That is the 100% the reason for me right now to utilize Whatnot is because the back end, the instantly not having to have to worry about somebody paying you, not having to worry about going to 3 different sites to ship something. To me, that is the key about Whatnot. Now, once somebody else comes around and makes that easy for me, or if there's a way that I fall into, you talked about Josh and Mel, Trey, utilizing IG live sales and YouTube. And again, I told you things are going to change here next year, and there's going to be a lot of extra places where we can do that stuff, and we're gonna key in on it.
It's just crazy. Like you hear about this Nick GUQ guy. And then you hear about Josh just getting kicked from their shows because for no reasons at all. If people, influencers, whatever the fuck we're calling people who actually sell the comic books, that's the other thing too. I think people are way too proud of themselves for selling comic books online. Just sell the comic books. You're not a fucking online vendor or retailer. You sell 22 books a month from your fucking house. Let's settle down. And I think that's what it was. I think people I think they got a little bit of an inflated ego when everyone had nothing to do, when everything ran out of Netflix and there was nothing else to watch. I think people, I've started watching card breaks again.
Yeah.
Heavy duty and getting involved in them. And then about a year and a half, I got out of them. And I think that's what people are doing. I think
right now.
I think people got so much collectibles. Everyone got into collectibles during the pandemic. You either got into golf, collectibles, or NFTs. Those are the three things you did if you're fucking guys in the United States.
Well, speaking about NFTs, like I feel like this is almost like the same type of discussion that we're hearing a lot on the NFT thing, right? You're hearing about CoffeeZilla just put out this big, huge documentary drop on Logan Paul rug pulling his CryptoZoo NFT thing, right? You're hearing about all these different rug pulls and these scammers in this world, and I feel like scammers are going to take their chance at anything that they can scam somebody on, right? They jumped into the collectible markets hard, guaranteed. And I see them in the NFT world, and the NFT world is very scary too. That's why I'm very glad that we have people like Vinny and Marcus here that can I can call and say, or I can hit up and say, or I could jump on a Discord and say, hey, what is this? Is this worth looking into? You know what I mean? So, a quick little plug. Make sure you guys jump on that OTR Discord. Let's get into some of the NFT talk because we're getting towards the end of the world and NFT world. Crypto is taking a crash. A lot of the NFT art has totally died, but there are some interesting things there out on that market. And one of the ones that we've talked quite a bit on this channel is Atom Bomb Squad. What's going on over there right now, Vinny, with what they're doing?
Yeah, so just to set this up, I what I wanted to do was just talk about some of the property, because you got to look at NFTs really as properties, right? Like companies that you're investing into, brands that you're investing into, and things that you think are going to be around for the long term. Like Bryan was saying, there's a ton of projects that are just out there. You don't know what to pick. There are going to be ones that rise to the top. And so what I'm trying to do, and Marcus as well, what we're constantly looking, we're trying to see what's going to work. And there might be something that pops up out of nowhere and kind of surprises us. But there are the ones that are steady growing throughout the months, years of this whole NFT craze. So, some of these are going to be affordable. Some of these are going to be less affordable for people. But I just wanted to kind of give you all like some background and which ones I constantly see and might be interesting. So, Atom Bomb Squad is a project that was released by the founder of the Hundreds clothing brand, like very popular streetwear brand. He dropped 25,000 of these. Okay, so this is a little bit more than the typical NFT project, which is usually somewhere between 9,000 and 10,000. But with this, like I've spoke about before, two of the I got airdropped for having one. I got airdropped two of the Batum Bombs, which was like the derivative project that they did. And then I think I explained before that I will actually get 20% of any secondary sales if I sell my Batum Bomb Squad NFT, which I thought was super interesting. They've been in real life events, like NFT NYC, Designer Con, Art Basel. They just sent us some free merch. This one is actually pretty cheap. It's 0.1869 ETH, about $218 as a buy-in. Now, during the highs before, the average price was 1.35 ETH. So this is like a big drop off from where it was, and I think it does have the potential to go back up.
So. Yeah, we're seeing that across all the collectibles market. Cards, comics, NFTs, things are dropping by on average of like 60%. It feels like, cards that literally a Stephen Curry RPA sold for like 200,000 5 days ago, and last night another one sold for 132,000. So like the market's very volatile, and I think that one of the reasons that we love talking about NFTs over here is exactly that. These are some of the places to jump in, and it's not going to ruin you, and it could be a very smart play just for a jumping on point on some of these. So, all right, next, Atom Bomb Squad. Next, we got Goblin Town.
Yeah, and just also to let you all know, I'm kind of speculating on what is going to be like a future blue chip NFT. So a lot of these are, like I said, relatively cheap for what they are, but I see a lot of potential. So Goblin Town, this is a project that started out as a free mint. Literally, you could go on, just pay the gas fees and Ethereum, and you got this thing. It went up all the way to 5.8 ETH. It's now down at half an ETH, 0.5 ETH, about $600 right now. These guys have also had a really strong presence at a lot of the NFT events, and this was the event that I RSVP'd for and went to at Art Basel, like the kind of secret event in that abandoned mall. So this one is another one that I think is, fairly a cheap buy-in that has a lot of potential. There's been some kind of rumors about some big companies jumping in this project. So and it has a strong community. So I really like this one as well.
Yeah, I think that community aspect is such a big part of it, man.
Yeah,
it's.
And this is the party, just to remind you guys, at Art Basel, where people were literally stealing the paintings off the wall just to own a piece of this, a physical piece of artwork for this project. So I
can't believe Peach did all the fucking art for Goblin Town.
All right, next we got Murakami Flowers.
Yeah, so Murakami Flowers is, of course, by Takashi Murakami. This one is now at 0.8 ETH, about $971. It's all-time artwork for this project. So I can't believe Peach. I can just listen to myself talk about it. So the average price was actually at 1.8 ETH for this project. I love it because it's by a fine artist that he's already cemented himself in that world. I mean, he is like essentially like the Warhol essentially like the Warhol or that type of artist of this time. I don't think he's going anywhere. This project, he dropped a Lucky Cat Bank NFT, which was selling for 1 ETH after it dropped. You could have signed into his website and gotten a free. He's already sent a free T-shirt to holders. He just sent a free Murakami Tamagotchi to holders. Now he has this new gamified experience where he's basically taken the Lucky Cat Bank. You break it, you get a coin and another bank, and then you feed that coin, and it's a game where you get more coins and you feed it, and the top 20 people who are on the leaderboard they're going to get something else. We don't know what it is yet, but it's just interacting and making it a cool experience. So I really like this project also, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
World of Women.
World of Women is very interesting. This was a project that was created to empower women, increase their representation in the Web3 space. I think it has potential just because of that alone, just bringing more women into the space. But not it's selling now for about 1.77 ETH, which is about $2,100. But this average was at 13.25 ETH not too long ago.
Hold on, I dated 8234. I ain't shitting you not. She worked at Hooters. Her name was Candace. I ain't shitting you.
The interesting thing
here, it looked familiar, man.
She ain't worth 2.8 ETH either. I promise you that.
The interesting thing about this project is just like I'm sure everybody's heard of Bored Ape Yacht Club. This brand is managed by Guy Osiri, who founded Maverick Entertainment, which is a management company that manages Madonna, U2, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Isn't that her brother? Is it her brother, right?
I don't know if Guy Osiri is her brother. I don't think so. I don't think Guy Osiri is her brother. I could be wrong, though. The Weeknd, Doja Cat, Aerosmith, Paul McCartney, Ricky Martin. This one's a no-brainer. They do
Ricky Martin?
Yeah.
You threw Ricky Martin at the tail end of that? Like that
I put Madonna at the beginning. It's like the same level of like irrelevance.
He
right?
bookends with Madonna or Ricky Martin.
But no, I mean, I think it's interesting having somebody managing this with such a big entertainment background. You're seeing a lot of like big galas. You're seeing big shows with huge artists showing up, like things like that. I think this is one of my favorite projects. Honestly, it's a little pricey at $2,000, but I'm definitely gonna buy one. I mean, it's not even a question. I'm definitely gonna buy one.
12.5 ETH right now for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see this not going crazy again. This is just one of those ones that is consistently everywhere I go. I can't see this really falling back too much beyond this.
Wow, man, that's crazy. All right, Cool Cats.
Cool Cats, another kind of cool project. This one, now the average a few months ago was 26 ETH or $93,000. Now you can buy one for 2.5 ETH, which is $3,000. Okay, this is they're managed or they're represented by the big talent agency CAA that's big in TV, film, sports, music. Um, they had a billboard in Times Square. 2023, they're gonna actually have one of the Cool Cats in the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. Owners of this: Time Magazine, Puma, Steve Aoki, Reese Witherspoon, a lot of people like that. So it just feels very cheap right now. The project lost a little bit of steam because they had a CEO step in and then he left after 3 months. They don't know why. But really, they've still got a lot of stuff going on and going for them. So that's why I like this project.
And then you got some that you're calling like honorable mentions or just something interesting to talk about. Starting with one that I seem to like, Alien Friends.
Yeah. So this is a project. This is cheap. This one maybe could also be on the list just because of if people are trying to get in. This is about $485. They had a high of 3.2 ETH. Very strong community. A lot of celebrities own it. Gary Vee, Meek Mill, Justin Bieber. They've done a streetwear drop. They've done a 30-page comic book. They've done an airdrop to their holders. I think if you want to get into a solid project for a fairly cheap price, I think that's a good one as well.
Yeah, put a pin in that comic book thing here when we're done. All right,
Yeah.
Next, is it Go to Mint?
Yeah, go to Mint Pass. Now we're getting more pricey, so that's why I put this in sort of an honorable mentions. But this is a project that was focused on transitioning traditional, popular fine artists into the Web3 space, but kind of like in a safe way because they don't really understand it. They don't know how to move into NFTs, but they want to do releases. So what this is doing is really grabbing respected fine artists and helping them drop, right? So Pharrell is one of the advisors on the team. Cause is the artist advisor on the team. Something cool when I was at Art Basel, if you had one of these passes, you could literally go to Art Basel and all the big surrounding events for free. But so this is just something to keep an eye on. I'm constantly watching the floor because it minted originally for 1 ETH. It's at 3.6 now, but when I was looking at it, it was at 10 ETH like just a few months ago. So it's just something I'm constantly watching, but I really love it. And there is almost no doubt that there's going to be a cause drop on this at some point in time.
So it looks like, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but it looks like they're just like you don't know what it is, and they've been given these passes to random artists out there, and you're just taking a shot in the dark and hoping that one of these is a good artist, or what's?
No. So basically, the pass allows you to mint whatever project they announce. You're like basically first on the list to mint it, and
Gotcha.
and at a reduced price. But along with the pass, you get access to various events.
Okay. Invisible Friends.
This is one that Marcus and I both bought into. This is just a solid project. They've done, I would call this essentially a blue chip at this point. They've done.
I like this one.
Yeah, they've done a lot of.
I thought you were trolling us about the invisible fucking. Like, the invisible JPEG. You're just gonna be just like a white square, and it's be like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they just did a new drop recently, called 3D Invisible Friends. They did something with BMW called Kith Friends a few months ago. This one is just like a really solid one. It's it's about $2,000, but I strongly believe this is going to go back up as well. And Marcus did too, and that's why he kind of followed after I bought one. He was like, "Damn, man, I really need to get one too."
I still think that one of the coolest things about NFTs, at least these type of NFTs, is the difference, like finding the little cool things that make you excited, right? Like, and we were kind of talking about that with Beast, how they're creating the hood stuff. But if there was an Invisible Friends walking around with some crazy psychedelic alien shirt on, smoking a fat blunt, I'd be like, I want that one. You know what I mean? If if you're into being a hobo and riding the trains, you might want this one. So I think that the little extras, the little things that you find on there, and the weird things, walking an invisible dog, like what the fuck, things like that. And how do they choose those things? Is that random, or are they actually choosing what?
It's random. Basically, all these attributes are basically pulled together, and then it's randomized, and then that's how they make these. Once they do the reveal, you really don't know which attributes they're gonna have. It's basically like they're all layered. They're created in layers, and then they'll just drop whatever on there from a process standpoint. Cool. Also, don't forget, a lot of these projects like this one, when you buy it, you own the IP rights. You can license the IP rights. If somebody wanted to do a TV show with your invisible friend, you can license it to them. You can make merch from it. I can make a toy of mine if I wanted to. So that's all stuff that comes with a lot of these projects. Not every project, but the majority of the ones that I'm talking about, that is something that you get with it.
Like this one here, a perfect example of being like that perfect. Why isn't it coming up here? Damn it. Being that like perfect random thing where I could see people just geeking out about. Where'd it go? It was a dude walking with a bomb on one hand, throwing it up in the air, and then he had a boom box in the other, and he had an old school Kangol hat on. So like I could see that, like that's the perfect randomizer that people would search for. So
what was that dude's name on Fat Albert? Well, look through his beanie.
Mushmouth.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I don't remember.
That song right there.
That's dope.
So, like,
they did have one that you could look through it though a little higher, but yeah, whatever.
Brian, did you see what Hi Nathan said?
No, let me check it. Take a check. Look, Hi Nathan.
This is one of the better comments of the night.
ETH means something.
ETH means something different to the hobo community. It was so good. It had to get brought up because that made me laugh.
Nice.
Miguel had a great question asking, how does it work if you cash it out? Like, how does cashing out work?
This is not like crypto. You can't cash out whenever you want per se. You can put it for sale if somebody wants to buy it. Almost surefire way you're going to sell it quickly is if you put it at the floor or underneath the floor, and if it's an active project, if it's actively selling, especially if you put it under the floor, right under the floor, you'll probably sell it right away.
They're bots designed to pick up exactly what Vinny just said.
Yeah. Yep. Like I buy things and I have offers on them instantaneously as soon as I buy them. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, next we have Doodles.
Yeah, so Doodles is this brand has gone crazy over the last few months. They literally did an entire mini golf course inside a building at Art Basel. But this project is now becoming very music focused. The former president of Billboard magazine stepped down, became CEO of this. Pharrell has come in and become chief creative officer. There's been many airdrops to the owners of these. Very active. They've done an art toy, and the average was 23 ETH. This is a high one though. This is at 7 ETH, about $8,000. So this is a tough one. This is one I would love to have, but it's too high. It's too high right now. Yeah. I'm just waiting to see if it'll come down.
All right, we got a couple more. Clone X.
Yep, Clone X. Yeah, this was another Murakami project. This was by a company called Artifact, RTFKT. They were known before this project for working with Kanye and Louis Vuitton. The artistic direction on this project is all by Murakami. The interesting thing about it is Artifact got acquired by Nike. That was like the big news of last year. So everything they drop is fire. Like literally everything. This is one of the hottest projects to own. Again, another very expensive project, but this is one of the ones that could become like a Bored Ape in the future. So I just wanted to put it on people's radars.
Yeah, that's you can tell there's a different quality it seems with this.
Yeah.
So. All right, and then finally one of the big dogs.
Yeah. So CryptoPunks, right? So a lot of people know about CryptoPunks. They're right in the same category. They were actually before Bored Ape Yacht Club. we've seen these things sell for millions of dollars, literally, right? Now, what happened was when Larva Labs, which is the company that made CryptoPunks, when they originally made it, they there was a glitch in the smart contract that was the underlying, essentially programming for it, and so they had to scrap that first edition and reissue the NFTs, where they fixed the bug. Essentially, these they found a way to wrap the old versions of the NFTs in a way that they could be sold on OpenSea and other marketplaces, and so now they're back out on the market. I think these are cool from a historical sense. They're about $7,000, whereas the regular ones are about 63 ETH. We're talking 57 ETH more than these. And if just being from Collectibles, always looking at historical, I just thought this was a really interesting one because this is really the precursor to CryptoPunks, and it was almost like grabbing this is like almost like having an error, of something like an error comic or something like that. That's essentially what this is. So I thought this was like kind of a cool thing to look at if anybody's in the market, or if you guys are watching and it comes down enough. I think these have a lot of potential.
Yeah. I remember them setting off the whole thing back in the day. It was the first thing I heard about. Everybody going crazy for a NFT avatar. Everybody was calling them, right? So cool stuff. Very cool stuff. All right. Let's get into our main talk of the night, and it's going to be something that we're going to be talking about for quite a while. I think through the next year, it's starting to get pretty hot and heavy and being talked about, and it artists are especially starting to take a stance. It's been a campaign recently, all over Twitter and all over IG. You guys have probably seen a lot of your favorite artists have come out and said how they feel about it, and that being AI art. You guys know we've been talking about it for a while. We started off kind of keying in on it with Abolition of Man, which was a comic that used AI art that I thought was just at the time, and I still think it's such a great, cool idea, to utilize the AI art for that. But there's a lot of people right now who are very worried and angry about this. But let me bring up. Sorry, you guys, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't be bringing up stuff while I'm trying to. All right, League of Comic Geeks is one of my go-to places to find comics, and they recently put out their post on Abolition of Man 3, which dropped today. If you guys have seen it, I don't know if you guys seen it in your shop or anything. I don't know how many shops they're sending them out to, but this is Abolition of Man 3. It says that groundbreaking AI illustrated Abolition of Man continues with the second part of the dystopian Hod Tech satire, a chilling peek into the world of future where humans and their most trusted passions have all lost purpose. In a world where there's nothing new underneath the sun, choose to change the sun. So very interesting take. They utilized a old school essay by C.S. Lewis on the first two, I believe. I don't know if they're still using that for continuing this, but one of the artists that I've talked about a lot that I love his seeing how he talks about it and seeing his take on stuff has been Boss Logic. And Boss Logic is a great artist. He utilizes technology to create a lot of his art. And he has been talking about AI and AI art for a long time, even utilizing it to play around a lot. This is an old post from him from May 11th of this year, where he's using it to probably farm ideas, I would imagine. And even back then, he kind of had a little bit of takes on it, where you could see he was trying to figure it out. This is one where he put up a post saying, "I'm all for using AI art and having fun with it, learning from it, and seeing how future tech progresses." I think that's the key, learning from it and seeing how future tech progresses. But don't be that guy in the last comment. The guy says, we don't need graphic designers anymore. AI art is all about your prompts now. It's super difficult to get good images still without good copy. Still, this takes talent, just a different type. So it's people are starting to really, key in on it at this point. I think back in maybe September, they're starting to kind of worry about it a little bit. Well, recently, Boss Logic was at some type of event, and he proposed the question, asking another peer of his, what are your thoughts about AI art? Is it something that, what do you think about it? And the other guy was like, I don't like it. And Boss Logic basically says that, hey, when we were coming up as graphic designer artists, utilizing tech, we were looked at in the same way. People did not want us in the same, hemisphere, let alone, doing the art. And now we're part of it. Most comic artists that we talk about on here use technology and computer CG art. A lot of our covers of the year over the last couple of years have been CG art. So it's very interesting. Well, Boss Logic put this out there for artists out there. If you have a minute, I didn't think it would be this soon, but I needed to have a deeper dive into the world of AI art and its impact on the world of digital art and the artists ourselves. I think it has only been a month or so since I was panel chatting about it and giving my opinion on it, thinking there wouldn't be much of a huge change or an issue with it existing. Still, the shift is happening at an alarming rate. Considering the major applications and platforms we use have implemented it or are soon to do so. That's a key. Considering that major applications and platforms we use have implemented it or are soon to do so. Then you have certain studios who are already using it in-house, and this is still in its infancy. For me, I was on the boat of it being a tool for inspiration for an artist, and I love that. I think that's probably what it should be used for, is inspiration. But as many can tell, many artists are just using it to enhance their works and not even mention that AI is used, which is sad to see. We have some fantastic artists fighting the good fight, so we can get woke red tape and some rules into play. But what happens if legal issues are handled? And that is no longer the problem if the source is from legal. So he's starting to bring up legal thing and everything. So he basically asks a bunch of artists out there to weigh in on it. And one of my favorite all-time artists is Jeremy Geddes, and he goes by Jeremy's Painting. Jeremy Geddes says, it's absolutely an alarming future. Being an analog artist, it's hard to know exactly what impact it will have for me, but I'm assuming it will also hit pretty hard in the end. And I think that is the key take, is that a lot of these guys are, whatever you want to call them, analog artists or anything, but these guys who are creating the art, how long does it take to create some of those pieces? Especially, you think about, let's take it in the comics world, cover artists and all that stuff. It takes a long time to create this art. Now you can just throw a couple of prompts in and do it in seconds. I mean, we're gonna basically do that here in a little bit. So, I wanted to bring it up and see what the guys on the panel think about it. I know Sean's kind of been digging at this too.
I mean, it's natural progression of everything being this AI deal. It's hard because, especially covering the things that we do here, we know that things are a natural progression into that. It makes it harder for me, without trying to be the get off my lawn guy or something like that, thinking how it's taking the art from people who are creating the art, and somehow, and I've seen so many examples, and I should have either saved them as I was have been running into them over the last 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many artists posting this, but how I would have saved this for the last couple of weeks with it'll look just like their art, and it just we can't lose art, like it as an art. We just can't lose art. I don't know how to say it more simply than that. The value of people studying and learning how to do things, especially in like whatever kind of mediums that we have, it's just so difficult to think that we could possibly just lose this and we're not going to have this. Like, where are jobs going to go? Think
about how you feel. Think about how you feel when you're creating something, right? Even us,
Yeah.
like we're creating content here. We love doing it. It gives us this high. Art, musicians, right? Bands, when their favorite time being in a band. Every time you talk to a person who's in a band, there's only one thing over playing live, and that's being in the band rehearsal room and creating new sounds, right? New songs. There's something with humans in creating, whether it's visual art, whether it's writing, whether it's pencil and ink, whatever it is. Creating art is cathartic. And I think you hit on something that I never thought of before. That's a big deal for human psychology, I think, too.
Yeah. People creating this, doing the art and stuff like this. It takes them a long time. And the thing is, of course I like the images. There's so much beautiful work because it's conglomerating other people's works. And I think that that's amazing. And I know that we can't fight it, but I don't want to rely on this. And like, what if you come into the future? Now the AI is just going to generate more work based on different work, instead of the people. It took to be able to do this. It took, I don't know, 1 million artists or whatever you want to say. I can't even fathom the amount to be able to create the ability to do this by people doing this themselves. And without the people doing it themselves, like, should we make that irrelevant to our lives because comic books are better or something like that, or because the art is better? I mean, there's so many great AI art forms now that exist. Man, I'm glad that they exist. It's really tough because I hate to take the human element out of things. I want the right thing. It's funny. It's almost to think about, like, I talked to Trey a long time ago about baseball strike zones, and he goes, "I want the call right." Now losing. Okay, no offense to umpires. Losing 30 umpires isn't the same as losing 5 million artists to me. You know what I mean? And it's not cut and dry. It's not cut and dry. You know what I mean? There's ways that technology can help us, but suppressing human expression, as we've known it for a long time. I mean, when do we get? I don't know. I'm a big Westworld fan, so this stresses me out. In more ways than one.
I'm a fan of it, and I'm a fan of it because how many of our favorite comic book series over the last 5 years have been delayed, or there's been issues because artists can't get their shit together, or the artist beats the shit out of their wife, and here's the other thing. Why do fucking artists and musicians get off scot-free from technology? Technology's been taking jobs from every other sector and job market in the United States for the last 30 years. So why in the fuck do artists and musicians and everyone else get off scot-free? It sucks, but at the same point in time, this is the future. And that's good art. Like this shit up here right now. If I could make a Superman comic book myself, think about this. Think about the AI art. Think about the 12 and 13-year-old kid that is a brilliant writer, but will never write a comic book because he doesn't know anybody that can draw, or he himself can't draw. So to absolutely shit on this and say that it doesn't have a purpose in comic books, I disagree with it. I think it does. I think that, I'm not a big art guy. I'm not one of those people that, want to go fucking sit and watch Van Gogh screensaver and shit and go over me and talk about Starry Night. I'm not one of those people. I also like comic book artists. Like most of the guys are fucking perverts, in my personal opinion. All they do is you can joke. Hey, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me the 5 of the 8 top comic book artists right now. That's their best thing they do is drawing titties and ass and smut. And if you call me a liar, I'll throw examples.
But look at your audience. But go ahead.
Yeah. I get it, but at the same point in time, if you're having to look at fucking drawings of titties, you got problems. If you can't,
here's what I love. And this is what's so fucking important, you guys. Whether you agree with or disagree with what any of us is saying, the important thing is that we're having this conversation, right? This is how you figure it out. You have this conversation. You look at different examples. You play devil's advocate. You throw things at the wall. That's the important thing. And this is bringing up a major conversation in the world that needs to be had right now.
Right.
It's getting people talking.
But so Bryan, this image that you have up here, right? This was all generated by Midjourney, and I think this is where it kind of toes the line a little bit. This artist, her name is Chris Castanova. She made this with Midjourney, but check this out. The whole story was written by AI also. She prompted, she said, write a children's comic book about AI artists and traditional artists who unite to work together on saving our planet from climate change, include very detailed descriptions of illustrations. So she basically had this already written by GPT, took those descriptions and used those to create, these images. I think the issue for a lot of artists, because I work with and represent a lot of artists, right? I think the issue is a lot of them are like, man, this is awesome. It's great to fuel ideas, just like you were talking about. But there's also like an ethical dilemma because a lot of these programs are pulling and the influence is coming from existing pictures that are out there, right? So the issue is the artists have not actually been able to say, hey, I'm okay with my art being used as your, for you to pull as an influence. I may not be okay with that. Maybe I want a royalty for that. So that's why this is becoming a big thing. But what's interesting with what Chris Castanova is doing is, so she is creating this AI art using Chat GPT, but then she's also like trying to make it more ethical. So she wrote right here, I think what's happening right now with the wave of people being angry with AI, even though uncomfortable for people who use AI technology, is a force for progress for AI because it'll make this technology better and more ethical. It's uncomfortable, but it's a good thing that people speak up and raise this conversation. It's not up to users like you and me, but big companies who charge us for subscriptions to make it right with artists, and I strongly believe they will. And this
is so important, Vinny, because a perfect example is majority of the technology and the innovations in humans' life comes from defense industry spending stuff for war. You know what I mean? Like, so you have this ethical thing, right? A lot of people don't like war, but because you being warm and happy in your house is because of war, right? It's and that's exactly kind of like, I know it's such a crazy thing to say that, compare these two things, but it's the truth. Like sometimes things that you don't like create good things, right? And another thing is that, this kind of reminds me of that whole CRISPR thing, right? Using technology to create genes in humans and stuff, and everybody's so afraid of it, which I think they should be. Playing God is a very interesting, dilemma and a thing to have a conversation about. But the technology that's coming up with that stuff could change things to help people with diseases now. So
let me ask you a question. If we're gonna do this art thing and for the artists and all this shit like this, were people doing the same complaining in the 90s when Pro Tools and literally people stopped playing fucking instruments and you're able to make any auto tune and do all this shit on a keyboard that has absolutely no skill other than a producer putting in what parameters he wants to? Those guys get paid millions of dollars, don't they, Vinny? Those producers.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So who's to say that just because someone is able to draw something with a pen very good, who's to say that there's some kid who's able to put in an algorithm or his wording and make something better than you can draw? Is that a talent or a skill? I think it is. Just because you want to sit at home for 12 hours and draw fucking boobs and titties, good for you. I don't think you should. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that, but technology is scooping up and stealing everybody's jobs.
But they're drawing from people's actual art, though. You know what I'm saying? They have to draw it from somewhere. They're getting
Adam
that
Hughes has
information.
never seen Jennifer Lawrence naked.
I mean, Antros.
Yeah, but the AI has seen Adam Hughes drawing. If you say AI, woman,
but Trey's saying the same thing.
Boobs, purple skin, tall, strong.
That's all Adam Hughes is
crush
doing.
Wall, Adam Hughes style. You use that string of words right there. It'll create you something in Adam Hughes style just for you. But it had to take all of his work to do that. They had the conglomerates, all that work.
So to play devil's advocate, like Trey is saying, should Adam of Hughes have made that great variant that we saw the last couple months look like Jennifer Lawrence? Because he could have just sat there and looked at Jennifer Lawrence and copied her face. It's doing the same thing.
Creepy as fuck. Personal opinion, I think that's.
Just
think it's weird.
Advocate. I agree with you, Sean, but
yeah, and
like,
all. Sorry, Trey. And all artists are actually influenced by other artists, right? At the end of the day, I mean, they all pull from these. I think a lot of these artists are replicating, then innovating, right? I mean, a lot of their early works may look like other people's work. I know a lot of artists might have grown up with Todd McFarlane, and they're copying McFarlane as they're coming up, but then they eventually find their own style. And I think that's a lot of what is also happening here.
Yeah, it's a great conversation, man. And I think this could be one of the biggest conversations that we're going to have over the next year, if not longer. It's going to be very interesting to see if government's going to get involved in this, because I don't know, how do you stop this? What do you do to stop something like this? Like, you can't stop it unless you have some type of oversight or something, and then you start saying, why I don't want the government to have oversight in the internet or something like it's such a big, it's going to be a big issue moving forward. I think way bigger than it is right now. A lot of people don't even know about it. A lot of people don't even realize what this is. They have no idea. They just, it's interesting, man.
This is literally going to jump into every industry. So I think what people need to do is, of course, you can be your own traditional artist that draws and everything else, but I think people probably also have to accept it and potentially utilize it in a positive way if it can help them. But I don't really personally love the idea of what she's doing. For example, just getting something from ChatGPT, making them detail what it should look like, and then taking that and feeding it into Midjourney. It's like, really, that is kind of all the AI that's doing a lot of that, right? Except for that original idea that she came up with of what the concept of the story is. But just to go somewhere else with this, I've actually been following her, and if anybody's interested, you should follow her Instagram account, because she also details her journey with the Copyright Office, because the Copyright Office is actually about to determine whether she's supposed to copyright her work as a joint work with AI or not. So that's all really interesting. Is it just her who made this work, or should AI be credited along with it as a joint owner?
Marcus and Vinny, I got a question for you guys, because are you guys hearing much about this type of argument in the music world? Because like Sean said, and like Trey said, in the past, this has been a very big issue in the music world with auto-tune and stuff like that. And even before that, like musicians learning how to play an instrument rather than just going on to Fruity Loops and typing in a button. Has this been an issue in your guys' world?
Marcus, can anybody hear you, or?
Yeah. Oh no, I can't hear him. I can't hear you, Marcus. Yeah. Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
Restart.
I would say it's not a big issue yet. I mean, something that's happening a lot in the music industry is like people are using, producers are using loops, and it's gotten a lot lazier than it used to be. I mean, I literally watched Liam Payne making beats on his phone like this. This is all he was doing, and I was like, "What the heck is he doing?" And he was making stuff that was like pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie, but AI is entering the music world. I just haven't seen a ton of it yet, but it's not far off. I think we're gonna get to a point where, within the next year or two, where you're gonna have AI programs essentially coming up with melodies, counter melodies, the full drum pattern, the bass line, or the 808s, or whatever it is. And it's done. But it does take some skill to say, this is where in music, it takes skill to say, is this good? Is it not good? What does it need to make it better or make it commercially viable? That's kind of a part of that, I would say, in the music industry. So,
yeah, man, it's very interesting. So, we're going to keep an eye on it, and it's gonna be a big thing in the future, especially now that comic book artists are getting really big and heavy into it. So, all right, let's get into the market report, you guys. We are about an hour and a half in. We're gonna knock out the market report, call it a night, and I want to remind everybody, thank you again for being here with us. Make sure you hit that like button; that helps our algorithm out immensely. And you guys don't know how much that helps. Like, seriously, hitting the like button, turning on your notification. If you really love the show, turn on notifications. That helps us out. And we're going to have, like I said, a ton of changes coming up next year, not just in our hobby or in the world, obviously, but also here at Beyond Wednesdays and on OTR and everything. Go check out the Discord world. You can find that in the description below. If you're having a problem with that link, let me know on the comments. I do check comments. I do my best to check the comments. And I'm not the best at responding all the time, but I try to look as much as possible. So, all right, here we go. Market report for December 21st, 2022. Starting off with the famous rifleman that we were talking about last week.
The Kumar variant.
Yes.
I want that. I want to get that name to stick. I want that the Vinny variant.
Ready for that wood.
I really wouldn't want to own this. I'm not gonna lie. It's just so.
It's weird. There's a kid holding some grown man's dick. It's fucked up. There's nothing funny about it. It really
fucking hilarious. I would love to own it because it is so unintentional and it's not porno shit. It is just literally
this is totally intentional, and it's called the Rifleman.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I feel like it's intentional. I feel like they're going, hey, let's fucking. This is like a troll 1962 style right here, dude. So, Daredevil 168. This person messed up, and they still got a great deal on it. If you guys don't know what this is not Daredevil 168. This is a reprint of Daredevil 168 with the famous Greg Horn Elektra cover on it. That they gave out. I think it was when Daredevil came out on DVD. It was a promo. Very hard to find in high grade. Very fine to find in any grade. And I think picking one up for $90 is a great buy.
Speaking of a DVD, it comes with a DVD. Shout out to Red Hood. He brought up this week about the Miles Morales action figure that was in the Walmart exclusive Into the Spider-Verse DVD pack. Super limited action figure. It's a really cool one. He's been talking about it. Vinny, there it is right there. Vinny's been bringing it up for a while about potential DVDs having some value and grading. This is a perfect example of something that would be worth value. Super limited, has, a secondary collectible item involved in it. And it's actually a really cool figure too. I think it's got the best Miles face from the original character. I think well done. Black background, so it's going to be hard to be in good shape. But start looking for things like that, guys. Everything else has been so specced out. When guys like Red Hood or people like that give you a little bit of fucking cornbread.
Shout out to Ferd. Ferd does the same thing. He gives
Ferd's killing it on Ferd's links. By the way, we put a deal up in the Discord for people to post links of like books. The perfect example. These links that McClay's posting. If you would like to know about these books earlier, Ferd's posting them real time in the Discord.
We're gonna try and work something out with Ferd to get him to maybe hang out with us a little bit more often. So you're gonna be seeing more of Ferd Bird around here in the future, hopefully. All right, Marvel Tales number 235, the classic Todd McFarlane cover with the X-Men. Todd McFarlane never draws the X-Men really, and here you got a McFarlane drawing the X-Men with Spider-Man. The Marvel Tales run has some great covers by Todd McFarlane that a lot of people really don't think about. And this is a 9.8 that sold for $173. And in a down market, I feel like that's a pretty good price on that book. So next we have a lot of the Goon 1, 2, and 3 from the Avatar run. So tough to find those books. So tough to find any of those early Goon books. And these 3 books raw sold for $521. So nice little come up there. Another Comic Reader 126. Such a tough book to find. Early Moon Knight art, early Sienkiewicz art. One of the coolest not like fanzine comics that you can find. Somebody got a steal and scored one for $72 from 1976. If you remember, that Moon Knight series, the solo series, didn't come out till 80. So yeah, that's a very cool Moon Knight piece. Whoever got that, congrats.
I found one of those in a con like maybe 2 years ago, and I did sell it for like $160, but I was like, I don't know what this is, but it was like $5 when I bought it. But is this like an official Marvel thing, or was this just like it was just like a fanzine type stuff?
Comic Reader is like a fanzine. It's like Comics Interview, that type of thing. It was like the Wizard before Wizard, if that makes sense. So they put it out on their own. I think they self-published it for a while, and then I can't remember if somebody bought it or not. But yeah, if you guys are out there and you go to your comic store and you ask for where their magazines are, and you see old school Comic Readers, you see old school Comics Interview, Comic Scene. You guys all know Sean Big Leg was a real big advocate of a lot of those really good Comic Scene magazines back in the day. You'll find a lot of good spec, collectible spec in that stuff. Is best thing I can call it. So, and then Knights of the Dinner Table #1, another raw copy, sold for $420. Look at that. I'm not surprised.
I believe to be 9.8 on the census, and I think this thing ran for 300 issues or more.
Yeah, still running,
right? Okay, there we go.
Yep. So next we have a couple foreign horror books. Chamber of Chills #20, the La Prensa, and Chamber of Chills 23, La Prensa. Yeah, great sales right there. Great books. I wish I owned both of those. Even a 0.5 I'll take. So shout out to our boy International Comics, who is always dropping great information about foreign books and stuff like that. All right,
I have the Mexican version of the Chamber of Chills 19.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe with a big horror purchase this week too.
Yeah.
What did he get?
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that.
The real one for a good deal.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oklahoma, fucking local.
Yeah. Here's our boy Doc Joe. One of the best collections that you will ever see out there. Picked up a grail for himself.
That's
so
right.
pretty damn nice.
Nice.
He don't even let me in his house anymore. Smart too.
And legit, ungraded, obviously, but half market value probably. Cash deal. It was some. I don't know the deal, but it was. You got it.
Little trade, little cash.
There you go.
Little trade, little cash.
Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the Fiona Staples. This is a 9.8, sold for $3,350, $3,300, 24 bids. I think this sold for like a little over $6,000 at the beginning of the year. So
it's okay. I sold mine for $250, so whatever.
Hey, we all done that. How about this? I want to see something crazy. I don't know what to think about these, but somebody had all of these and put them all up at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, dude. So it's all the 1 in 1,000s, right?
Yeah. A 9.2, a 9.4, a 9.6, and a 9.8. All sold at the same time. 9.8 got 6,000, 6,100. That was a $10,000 book at one point. I definitely wouldn't have done that. I would have slow rolled them. But sometimes you need money. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Who knows? But yeah, these all sold right one after each other. Boom, boom, boom. So,
do you think I think the Osaka fucking shit is going to fall quicker than the Riri and the Kamala Khan shit combined?
Depends on how good this series is. When the series comes out, if it's got Thrawn in it, bro.
But here's the thing: like the other series were decent, and everything still. I mean, if based on everyone else and reviews, Black Panther 2 was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, like, do you think that what's her name? Not Rose McGowan.
Rosario Dawson. And I love her.
I just don't. I think she's too old.
Yeah.
Personal. I don't have any issue. I think she's a good actress. I just watching the Clone Wars and stuff as a kid, I see a young 21-year-old, 22-year-old, not some 45-year-old. Just personal.
I thought she was too old too. She was the right age when she was in Kids.
Yeah, no, Sean's so I'm curious if this is gonna like after watching this, is this gonna make more grown men want to go and buy or kids or teenagers want to invest in her first appearance? I'm skeptical.
It all depends on how good the writing is, man.
Yeah, because the last dude, I'm sorry, Andor is my favorite Star Wars shit I've seen, and I can't tell you how long.
Really?
Yeah, Andor. I thought Andor was spectacular.
Should I watch it?
Ended greatly, dude. I absolutely loved
it. You watch
it,
Trey, you have to make yourself go through 4 episodes because if you go through 2 or 3 episodes, you won't watch it.
It's like a 6-hour investment to watch fucking Ewoks and shit.
No, it's not. No, dude, it's Caspian Andor. It has nothing to do. It's not on a planet of Ewoks. It's a dude's name is Andor.
Spy shit.
Oh, it's not on.
It's a guy from
Andor. It's not on fucking. It's not. Wait. It's not in Endor.
No, it's not Endor. It's Andor.
Fuck! I'm not gonna watch some fucking show about some dude named And. I thought it was about. Wait, are you fucking with me?
Wait, you want to watch Ewoks instead? When we just told you, bro, that it opens up with like murders, like people get killed. It's the most violent Star Wars show that exists.
Like it.
I thought it was
I
honest to God thought that in my brain I thought it was like at the end of the Return of the Jedi, it showed what happened like the fucking Ewoks and some shit like that. I had no idea it was Andor. I thought we were talking about Andor.
This is pre Death Star, dude.
Christ.
Like,
I'm hard no on that. Sorry. Like, wait, is there a lightsaber duel in the whole show?
No, not even.
No.
It's good, bro. Star Wars is lightsabers, right?
Yeah, but it's good writing, dude.
Is there a starfighter battle? Is there a laser battle in the sky?
Yeah, of course. There's badass ones, dude. And it's like espionage and the building of the rebels versus the Empire, like the fucking like I said, it's pre-Death Star, like it's freaking good. It's the most violent one. I think that's the most adult violent one I think that they've had. And each episode is like a half hour. You know what I mean? You could turn it on. There's crazy shit. The acting's good. I thought it was, I really enjoyed it, man. I think it's the best one. If you like, what's it? Rogue One. Rogue One, I thought was really
it's based
good.
on the guy in Rogue One, Trey.
Yeah.
Okay, people, that's the thing. One of everyone's favorite thing is to talk about how they just love Rogue One. Let's all cut the bullshit. The last minute and a half of Rogue One's fucking great.
Amen.
The rest of the movie's fucking. It's a bunch of 70 people trying to pretend like they're acting in the 70s. It's mediocre shit. When the fucking lights drop and the fucking red lightsaber starts slicing veins open, that's what the fucking people wanted to see. It was good. It wasn't great. Right? Yeah. I mean, like, what's the last great Star Wars movie? Because I want someone to name it, because I don't know if you can.
Rogue
I'm being dead ass serious.
Empire.
Ding.
Go back.
Yep. Yeah. Great.
And I'll argue The Mandalorian is their best shit. Even the Mandalorian series.
Yeah.
Is their best stuff that's been produced since Empire.
Yeah. All right. Next, we've got a Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and J. Scott Campbell signed Back to the Future #1 J. Scott Campbell variant. That's a pretty cool little book there. And I bet you can't tell which one is Michael J. Fox's. $308.
Hey, dude, even if you didn't know letters, you know.
That's terrible. At least it isn't Jim Lee yet.
I am too.
All right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the scratch figure. We all know that's one of the toughest figures to find. Here's an unpunched AFA 75 plus. $4,600. Wow. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Marcus, you back? Check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Talk.
Say something.
You asshole. Where you at?
I told him you had.
Yak Face 83, a Palatoy Yak Face. This is Palatoy Spanish. I can't remember. British maybe. Sold for $4,100 Australian. And Yak Face, one of the toughest figures to get. Final 17, right? So that's a pretty crazy figure right there. Nice sale. Would have been much better with a better picture, that's for sure. How about a unpunched Boba Fett 48 back from 82? Looks beautiful. sold for $3,500 ungraded. I never knew that there was a 4-pack of Stormtroopers. Did you guys?
No.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. A 4-pack of sealed Stormtroopers from JCPenney. Pretty damn cool. They had army builders before we even knew what army builders were. This 4-pack sold for $2,550 for 4 Stormtroopers from JCPenney. It's pretty damn rare. And then another super rare Ninja Turtle Shogun Shoate, a CAS 80 plus, sold for just a little over $2,000 on card. Pretty nice.
I don't remember this era of the Ninja Turtles where they just started making up like Funkadelic Frog and like Zootastic Zebra and like giving them like an axe and shit like that. Like when did these fuckers show up in the Ninja Turtles?
That's why there were so much. They're so rare. It was probably like their final 2 runs of figures, if I remember correctly.
This is when everybody stopped watching, Trey.
100%, because they're literally like Pussy Panda. I mean, anything. They just would name like anything with their animal with some adjective in front of it and throw them an axe and be like, let's put it in a package.
Yeah.
Some kid in Wichita wants this.
Real quick comment says, I should have kept my Captain America #1s. I had 2 issues, a CGC 8.0, a 6.0. Misprint. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
Wow.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Next, we've got some magazine stuff. We've got, how about that? Weekly World News from February of '92. Jeffrey Dahmer on the cover. That's so
I don't know if I can be heard.
Yeah, you can be heard.
Got you.
Well, y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Like, why don't you just talk? Why didn't you talk 5 minutes ago?
Bro, my mic, I don't know, bro. Let's not even talk about the kind of shit that I got going on over here in the sanctuminium, bro. It's like it's all kind of debauchery, bro. Like I just seen a crackhead run across my living room, bro. I don't know what's going on, brother, in my house, brother. It's all kind of bullshit. Horseshoes and hand grenades, baby. But we in here. Finally, I have returned.
Sports Illustrated from April 29th, 1985. A newsstand, which means it doesn't have the sticker on it, which is nice. That's super tough to find. It doesn't have the mailer sticker on it. Very tough to find old Sports Illustrated in nice condition without the mailer sticker on it. This sold for $1,100. It's a 9.2. It probably took 4 years to get back from CGC because that's how long magazines feel like they're taking right now, even though everything else is fucking 2 weeks or less. And then another WWF, a WrestleMania program, a program from WrestleMania #1, you guys. That is awesome right there. Nice. Mr. T on it. Like, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, Mr. T is amazing, bro.
$462 for a 9.0. I feel like that was a killer deal. Somebody scored right there big time. So that's not bad at all. All right. A couple more magazine things that I want to go over that, we've talked about Wizard magazine in the past, and there have been some crazy Wizard sales. How about this, you guys? I think this went for $6,000. Wizard magazine #1, a 9.8 pedigree file copy.
That's great.
That's crazy.
So, wow. Yeah. Sold for a shit ton of money. Shout out to our boy, whoever sold that. And then we have another one, a raw copy of a regular one. This is just a newsstand, not the San Diego, a newsstand. Sold for $565. And then we had a signed by Garib Sheamus, the guy who started Wizard. This is cool. It's a newsstand signed by Garib Sheamus, sold for $255. Great buy, in my opinion.
I'll tell you what's not a great buy, his NFT project.
No, it's not. Yeah, he's not. He ruined quite a few projects from, if you do the research on him, but still cool to have him sign a Wizard. And then finally, you guys, how about this one? Nintendo Power Premiere first sample issue Fun Club letter. This is the whole thing that came with it. If you guys were part of the Fun Club letter club, they sent you the sample copy for you to try out. This person has it all. Everything's included. The original mailer, everything, man. Beautiful condition on that. Even with these, man, it's so tough to find these in high grade. It has all the things that came with it. Just great stuff right here. Great
Nice.
pictures too. Excellent pictures, you guys. If you take pictures this nice on an item like this, it's we'll say how great it is. But $1,325 for that one. I feel like it should have went for quite a bit more, in my opinion, for how rare that is. So very, very good stuff right there. And make sure you guys, if you have any of that type of stuff, be on the lookout for it. There's a lot of cool magazines out there to pick up and to collect, and Ferdbird has really been killing it with some of that stuff. So again, shout out to our boy Ferdbird. Make sure you guys go check out his IG. Shout out to our boy Longshirt. He also does some cool stuff on that stuff too. But Nintendo Power and Wizard Magazine, great collectibles right now. That is the market report for December 21st, 2022, the final show of the year, you guys. 76 live till the end, 2-hour show. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, you guys. Much love to everybody in the community. I think that we are going to do we're going to do a show Friday night on Stein's channel, and then we're not going to do anything Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, go spend that time with your loved ones, with your family. If you can't be around them physically, try to figure out a way to get on a Zoom call with them, or have somebody set up a laptop. If this type of year is really tough for you, talk to somebody. I'm sure you have a friend out there that will take a phone call from you, and if you don't, contact one of us. There's never a reason to get crazy. That this too shall pass, as they say in NA. And
come on, Bible. Come on with the Bible. This too shall pass. Yes. Come on in here then.
We love you guys.
Well,
much
Bible.
love. We'll see you next time. Adios.
Dude.
But anyway.
Dude, bro, that was classic.